All right, hey everybody. So in this video today, I'm going to talk about some of the moves that Montreal might make, who might stay, who might leave, and all that. It's a weird time of the year. Montreal lost to Philadelphia. They're out of this playoffs, and now it's our off season, and always, especially here in Montreal, in the off season, rumors abound about what's going to happen, who's staying, who's leaving. There's a bunch of things that happened in the last day or two that's kind of controversial from some of the players, and it's caused a lot of, I guess, controversy is really the best way to describe it about what Montreal is going to look like, the team, the roster for next season. So I was reading an article about who would be leaving, who would be staying, and I thought, let's see, that's a good idea. Let me give my ideas about who's going to stay, who's going to leave, and even at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some the moves I call them my fantasy moves for the offseason for Montreal. I don't expect these to all come true because if they do, well, then I'm a genius and I should be the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. But they won't. But this is my ideas of how to improve the Canadiens and go forward on the quest to win the 25th Stanley Cup. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to start with. I know it's a little bit hard to see. I had room. I should have made it bigger. Live and learn. But these are not coming back. These are guys not coming back. So it doesn't really matter if they're cleared or not. First up, defenseman Christian Folin. He's a UFA, makes $800,000. I don't think there's a spot for him considering the guys that are here and coming up. I really don't think there's a spot for Christian Folin, even after when I show you what kind of moves I would think or that I want to see happen. Even after that, I don't think Christian Folin would have a place here. So he's gone. Keith Kincaid, I don't think that in any universe, if there's other dimensions, in any dimension that Chris Kincaid is coming, Keith Kincaid. I don't even know his name. It's Keith Kincaid, and I don't think he's coming back. I know he's not coming back. Dale Weiss. Now, Dale Weiss, it would surprise me if he comes back. He's not coming back at $2.35 million. That I can guarantee you. If he's willing to take like minimum and play in the AHL just to be in the organization, maybe. But I don't see Dale Weiss coming back, and I don't see a spot for him. Charles Hudon, same thing. He made $800,000. He's an RFA. He doesn't have a lot of choice, but Montreal can just not offer him a contract to qualify him, and then he can do what he wants. And rumors are he's going to go to Europe. So I think that's what's going to happen. Xavier Ouellet is an RFA, so the same situation. Montreal could qualify him or not. He made $700,000 last season. I could see possibly a two-way contract, but I don't see a spot for Xavier Ouellet. I kind of liked what I saw from him, sort of. So maybe they could move him. He's an RFA, so maybe move him for a draft pick. Wouldn't be a great draft pick, but you could move him for something or add him into a deal or something. But I don't see him coming back. RFAs that not necessarily will be leaving because I don't think these guys will be leaving unless they get traded. Max Domi's an RFA, made $3.175 million. He also apparently took the logo or Montreal connection, whatever, off of his social media, and that's some of the controversy that's out there. That does that mean Max Domi is going to be traded or not? We don't know. That's what's going on with Max Domi. Victor Mete, $748,000. A lot of people think Mete will get traded, but he's an RFA and he needs a new contract. Jake Evans in the same situation. He made $925,000. They need to sign him. And I didn't know this, but Noah Juleson is in the same situation. $863,000. Sorry for the back there. And I didn't know that he was an RFA this season coming up. So he won't be playing unless he gets a new contract. Okay, so on here, well, let me go here. Staying put. These are guys I can't see moving before next season. So this would be the core guys going into next season. I'm not saying they're necessarily Montreal's core players for the future, but I think for next season they are. Carey Price, 6 years, $10.5 million left on his deal. I don't think they're moving Price. There is some talk about trading Price, but you know what? I really don't see it. I can understand how it could benefit the team, and you don't need a star goalie of Price's caliber to win a cup. You don't. It's good if you could, but you don't, and I still don't see him moving. Nick Suzuki, 2 years at $863,000. Nick Suzuki's not going anywhere. KK, it's Barry Kopiemi, 1 year left, $925,000, not going anywhere. Alex Romanov. He just signed a 3-year deal, but burnt one. He's got 2 years left at $894,000. He hasn't been here yet. We are waiting for him eagerly. He's not going anywhere. Shea Weber, 6 years left at $7.8 million. I still, you could see maybe he's getting old. Maybe they could find someone to take him. I don't think so with that contract, and we don't really want him to go. He played fantastic. He's been playing fantastic despite the talk about his age, and I'd like to keep him around. I don't think he's going anywhere in the offseason. That's for sure. Thomas Tatar, 1 year left at $4.8 million, but that's what Montreal's paying him. I believe I'm correct on this. And his contract really is $5.3 million, excuse me, and Vegas is paying $500,000 of that contract. They retain that. Brendan Gallagher has a year left at $3.75 million. Phil Deneau, 1 year left at $3.8 million. Another controversy. Phil Deneau apparently in an interview was asked, does the role that he's going to have with the team make a difference for when he's signing a new contract? I'm paraphrasing. Remember, he's got 1 year left, so it's coming up soon. And he replied with yes, and something in French. And in French, kind of sounded like, if I'm translating it right, I didn't ask anybody about it, but I should be able to translate it. That kind of like, it's depending on the role he's playing. It changed in the playoffs, and it kind of, he basically wants to have the same role he's had for a while. And everyone's taken that to mean that he doesn't want to stay here. He wants to be the _1 center, despite the fact that he doesn't put up the points that a #1 center would. And we all know that. And I think that's kind of ridiculous. And I don't think anything's going to happen with Deneau. And I think he can do the job that he's been doing, a second-line center or third-line center, and he's going to be just fine. I think it's being overblown. So if you've heard about it, I wouldn't pay much attention right now to that. I don't think he's going anywhere. Ben Sherratt, 2 years at $3.5 million, also not going anywhere. He's played really. He was a surprise. Played better, I think, than most people thought he would be, and I don't see him going anywhere. Even I have a feeling he could be a guy that sticks around and gets an extension on that in a couple of years. Arturi Lehkonen. I think a lot of people think Lehkonen would get moved. I don't think so. I think he brings so much to the defensive side of the game. Yeah, he can't really. He's got to learn how to finish better. No pun intended. He's from Finland. On the offensive side, but when you look at the game he has all around that 200-foot game, Lehkonen is the kind of player that you need on every team. You don't win without players like Lehkonen, so I don't see them moving him. He's got 1 year at $2.4 million. I think they sign him, and we keep him around. Caden Primo, a guy that there's a lot of talk he'll move, that you can get another goalie. His timing might not be right. I don't think he goes anywhere. He's got 2 years at $880,000. And there's a guy that I think everybody forgot, and one of the reasons I don't think he goes anywhere, he's been injured, had an ACL and MCL on the same knee, and he's just going to be coming back and starting to play, I believe, for the Rocket when that happens. He's got 2 years at $763,000, and that's Joel Teasdale. He's forgotten. He's a winger, really great prospect, and I think they'll keep him around. I don't think they would include him in a trade because of the fact that I would think teams, if they're going to trade for him, would want to see him play since the injury, and he hasn't done that. So I don't see him going anywhere. So those guys in the organization are staying put. There's other guys, but these are guys of consequence, obviously. So now, UFAs I'd like to see Montreal maybe go after because I think they would be good here. I do like, what's his name, Evgeny? I don't remember. I don't know his name. Evgeny, I think, Dadonov from Florida. He's a left wing, right wing, and I think that he would fit in well here. He doesn't bring that pure scorer that we really need, but he puts up really good numbers, and I think he'd do well here. So that's a possibility. Ilya Kovalchuk, although, I don't know, depending on the deal, the talk is league minimum plus bonuses. For me, it's term and money with Kovalchuk. I don't think you're going to get the player that you think you're going to get that we got here for the 22 games. He put up 13 points. but he really dropped off at the end. He didn't do that much in Washington. I don't know if this is the option, but everyone really wants him. I know he'd be a great mentor for a guy like Romanov to have here, for the Russian tie and all that. And he's great for, I mean, the whole team. The guy had a hell of a career, was a great hockey player. He's 37. This is the reason why I'm saying that. But he's a right wing, and it's a position we need. I'm kind of hot on Radko Gudas, who's going to be a free agent. He's a right side defenseman with Washington right now. Doesn't make a ton of money. Perfect guy for the third pairing for me. Hits hard. He's not small. He's 6 foot, 205 pounds. Hits hard. He's one of those guys, kind of a mean kind of edge that we need on that back end. Perfect for the third pairing, and that's kind of guy I like. Cam Talbot for a goalie. There's a couple other goalies. I was kind of hot on Jake Allen with the performance of Binnington in these playoffs. I don't know that St. Louis wants to be rid of Allen yet for the 1 year. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Might be smart for them to hang on to him for another year and then see what they can do with him, or just let him go on for free agency, trade him at the deadline or something. Just to make sure Binnington is not going to have a bad season next year. He really didn't have good playoffs, that's for sure. I know he didn't play that much there in the playoff, but look at the performance. St. Louis out in the first round. If Binnington was there playing and hot, that probably wouldn't have happened. Trade targets, I see, and I'll explain them later when I do all the thing that's coming with my guesses for the trades. Because you might think, well, these guys, on right defense, Chris Letang from Pittsburgh. Edmonton, Jesse Puljujarvi seems to be in the mix now for possibility of trade, or he's coming back to Edmonton or something. He's a right wing. That's a place where we need some improvement. We're kind of right wing's not the best. We were from center being deficient. Right wing right now is pretty much our deficiency on the forward lines. Tampa Bay left wing Alex Killorn. I've been talking about that. Tampa's really up there with the cap. They need some kind of relief, so you wouldn't be giving up really a roster player because they can't really take salary back if they're making this trade. He's a guy that can put up, I think, 30 goals on a top six in a top six role. He doesn't get in Tampa Bay all the scoring option. He still puts up numbers. I like the guy the way he plays, and I think he'd be a good addition here for the right price. St. Louis right winger. I put up Tarasenko because I can't remember his first name. I didn't look it up, and I just can't remember his first name. So I'm not even going to guess. And this Tarasenko, and I think everybody knows Tarasenko. Now Tarasenko's got years left on his contract. He's got a few. Let me see now. 3 years at 7.5. That's an expensive option. I don't know how you work that out exactly. Depending on how you go about making trades and who you bring in, you maybe can afford that. Right wing, a winger. Brian Rust, play either wing from Pittsburgh. I think Brian Rust, though, for me, not big enough. But good numbers and maybe a possibility. Pittsburgh looks like they're wheeling and dealing to make moves and change the team. Also in Pittsburgh, goalie Matt Murray's an option for a backup. To me, makes a little bit too much money. He's young, and maybe, he can be in the mix later on, but I don't know. I don't know. Murray, I thought about it earlier in the season, in the RTP, to talk about Murray as an option, but I don't know. And Detroit, I talked about a winger because he can play either one. Anthony Manta, big, can score from here. Everything you want that Montreal needs too. Scoring and size. Something Montreal needs. Anthony Manta brings it. He's an RFA. How do you get him out of Detroit? That's the problem. Montreal's biggest need right now, biggest need going into next season, and this has probably been going on for a long time that they've needed this, size and scoring. Size and scoring are really important. You can see how that kind of failed us against Philadelphia. If we were a little bit bigger and could put the puck in the net a little more, I don't see how we wouldn't beat Philadelphia easily. And because we were smaller, they were able to push us around a little bit, and we outshot them. And I don't know if it was every game, but we couldn't put the puck in the net at key times. And this is one of the biggest problems Montreal's had for a little while. And we've given up to get Nick Suzuki and Thomas Tatar. We did give up probably our last natural scorer in Max Pacioretty. So we got to kind of get a goal scorer. Now, just some other news that I wanted to say here before we get to assets to work with. Claude Julien says he thinks Domi's better at center than at wing and sees him as a center. This is Claude Julien. Maybe this is why he played him at fourth line. How Max Domi can fit in going forward with Montreal as a center, I don't see it, because you're not moving Suzuki, you're not moving KK, at least in the long run. You might say next year maybe, but not farther than that. And neither are you moving Deneau off of that position. So where does he fit in as a fourth liner? Does Max Domi fit in as a fourth liner going down the road, in the future? I don't see it. So I don't know how they all fit. Like, how does he fit and who gets moved around? I don't know. These are questions to go into. Assets to work with. That means the players that I can see being involved in a deal, right? So you got Jordan Wheel. He's got a year and $1.4 million. Charlie Lindgren, backup goalie, 1 year, $750K. Jonathan Drouin, 3 years, $5.5 million. Paul Byron still has 4 years, $3.4 million. Very useful player. Don't want to see him go. Joel Armia, same thing. Don't really want to see him go. He's on the list only because they've been rumored, and a lot of rumors. So I put him on the list. 1 year, $2.6 million. Ryan Poehling, 1 year, $925,000. He also took off his the Habs affiliation off of his social media. Domi, Poehling, rumored to be traded because of that. That's what's come up since the day before I'm filming this, and I'm filming this on, I want to say Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday. I hope it's accurate. It is Wednesday, and so I that's an asset to work with. Brett Kulak, who played great in the return to play, looks like he can be a top 4 defenseman, and but if you got to make a deal and it helps the team and you move forward, you can involve these guys. 2 years, $1.85 million. Cale Fleury, 1 year, $771,000. Jesse Alonen, 3 years, $880,000. Otto Leskinen, 1 year, $925,000. Josh Brook, 2 years, $195,000. And Jeff Petrie, 1 year, $5.5 million. Now, I'm sure some of you sitting there going, why would Jeff Petrie be on this list? How come he's not over there? Maybe a couple of these guys on the list that you're wondering why I'm not saying that they're staying put. And for Jeff Petrie, the reason why, I think if the deal is right, I think he would like to go back home to Detroit and raise his kids there in that education system and all that. He's kind of talked about it just in the interviews recently. I think they were yesterday. Kind of hints, it sounds like it. He wasn't super enthusiastic about re-signing here when asked about it. I'm wondering if maybe something's up with that, and that we're going to talk about it, I guess, when I come out with my my fantasy trade ideas. What did I call it? Hang on, I got my fantasy off-season moves for Montreal. So those are coming up next. I've got to just erase a board here, get ready, and I'll write them down as I talk about them. So you won't really notice. It's kind of going to be like a blink like that. Okay, so what we're going to do here, first, I want to say this. There's a couple guys here I don't really think are going to get moved. Not 100% sure that they're not, but I'm going to take them off the board because they're not involved in. Okay, first of all, Paul Byron, I think very useful player. I think. Oh, you know what? I should check that. Do I have him in a move? I think I was thinking of it, but I don't. So, okay, Paul Byron, I think is out there. Joel Armia, I kind of think is essential. People are talking about it in some rumors of moving Armia. I don't really see it. I think this is a guy that fits so well in the bottom six and scores from there and gets points from there and uses his size properly and all that. And when you need him, can move up and down in the lineup wherever you need him. So I don't think he goes anywhere. I want to take off Brett Kulak because he's proven to play top 4 minutes and do well, and I don't think there's any need to move a guy like that. And I think that's all the reason. I just don't think Brett Kulak's going to go anywhere. At least I don't have him in any of these trade rumors that I'm about to put up. So my first trade, I'm going to do them in purple. Why not do them in purple? Okay, first one. Montreal makes a deal with Detroit. Montreal and Detroit. So Montreal gets to Montreal. Montreal gets Anthony Manta. Okay. I love that kid. I think he would really be good here. Montreal gets Anthony Manta. He's an RFA. He's got to be re-signed. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Montreal gives up for Anthony Manta. Montreal gives up Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie. I think Jeff Petrie would like to go back to Detroit. I don't think Jeff Petrie hates it here, and I'm not saying that. Jeff Petrie likes it here, but I think his kids are young. They're just about the age to start school. I think he wants them educated in the U.S. He's an American. His ties are Detroit. I think it's true. I heard someone saying that if he had the chance and he was a free agent, that he would probably sign with Detroit. Makes sense to me. I'm going to say that makes this deal probably work out because Anthony Manta would be great. And I know it causes a hole on the defense, but maybe we fix it in other deals. This is why they're my fantasy deals. We also send another guy who I don't think is going to make it here. Too much pressure because he's from Quebec and he is just got too much pressure on him. He kind of reminds me of, in a lot of ways, looks and everything. If you ever watched the movie Goon's roommate kind of reminds me of him, and I just don't think he's going to make it here. Send him to Detroit, and I think this deal works. Detroit gets an older defenseman, not young, who wants to be there. It helps. You're giving up this young, big guy that you want to have in your organization. So you get back two assets that are going to help Detroit get better. I think Drouin could reach his potential, just not here. You're also giving them first-round pick in 2021. Now everyone's screaming on the other end. What do you mean? You can't give that. Yeah, you can, because if some of these, remember, this is my fantasy trades. Remember, it's not really happening. Don't scream. You don't need to. But remember, if these trades work out and they did these things, Montreal would be a lot better. I think they'd easily make the playoffs. And then right away, you're not giving up a great pick. It's not like you're giving up a great pick. What if it's the 20, anything in the 20s? Could be a 31st pick. You're not giving them a great pick. So I don't think it's horrible. And I think if you throw that in, it makes it, they're giving up a lot in Anthony Manta. I don't know how else to put it. Next one. Montreal, Pittsburgh. Montreal gets Chris Letang to replace Jeff Petrie. Letang is a local kid from Montreal. He's 33, same age as Petrie, a little younger actually. Not sure. 32. I think Petrie's the same age. I think it's the same age. Same age as Petrie. He's got 2 years left at 7.25. That's a lot of money. But in Petrie, that's 5.5. Drouin, that's 5.5. With Manta, you've traded $11 million. You're not paying Manta $11 million. You've got money to pay Petrie. I mean, to pay Letang, excuse me. You're also giving up. Oh, I also want Samuel Poulin coming back. This is a kid I want. He's a local kid again. I wanted Montreal to draft him somehow in the draft. I really like this kid. I think he's going to be really good and a good prospect to have back. You're giving up because you're giving up Max Domi. Yeah, I hear the screams already. What are you talking about? Josh Brook. And maybe it's not Josh Brook, but, one of the young defensemen, and a third in 2021. So you're getting Chris Letang, Samuel Poulin, for Max Domi, Josh Brook, and a third. There's lots of rumors about Max Domi going to Pittsburgh. It makes a lot of sense. And there's not, if he's going to be a center, he doesn't, there's no fit here. There's no room at center down the road at all for Max Domi, and that could be why Julian said that he sees him as a center. He didn't say he's going to stay and we're not trading him. He said we really like him, but I think the door is open for it. Next up, Montreal Tampa. Left wing, Alex Killorn. I think Alex Killorn can really improve his offense and bring you possibly 30 goals a year and be part of the scoring upgrade that we need. Imagine bringing in Killorn and Mantha on your forward lines. You want to talk about being a contender, at least without not having to say, well, we might make the playoffs. Alex Killorn, he's 30. He's got 3 years left at $4.45 million. I think he's in his mid-20s. I'm not sure. He's in his prime, I think. Somebody are just entering it. This is a good pickup. Plays a good, hard, solid game, scores, plays the wing. It's what we need. You're giving up Ryan Poehling. Now remember, Tampa Bay is up against on the cap. They cannot take back salary. That's my belief. They have to unload somebody. So you're not giving back salary. You're giving up guys that have promise. Ryan Poehling. And you got this. I know no one's going to like this one. Noah Juleson. And maybe it's Cale Fleury. And a second in 2022. Because you don't want to give all your draft picks away either. So a second in 2022. So look at what you've given up. You've given up Jeff Petrie, Jonathan Drouin, Max Domi, and some prospects. You made holes in your lineup. You've replaced Drouin and Domi, either one with Mantha, Chris Letang, Petrie with Chris Letang, and Alex Killorn, the other forward. So you replaced your forwards. I think you've upgraded your offense. You've upgraded your size. You've upgraded your skill. I think so. You haven't given up a ton. You haven't. And you're getting back and upgrading your team. I think I like those. I want to add. I now have to erase a little bit. So that was not neat enough. I also think you got to go out and sign 2 guys. You got to sign a goalie, Cam Talbot. He's 35. He made $2 million last year, so you offer it. He made $2 million. He's in Calgary. I think you can get him. Well, he's a free agent, and you offer him like 1 or 2 years at $2 million AAV. Next up, I think you go after defenseman Radko Gudas, who I just said. He's a bruising kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that we need. He's the kind of guy we don't have. Maybe Fleury becomes that guy. And Juleson, I don't know if he's tough like that, but he's hard-hitting. He's tough. He doesn't hurt you. I think he was plus 15 last year on Washington. Washington was a good team. He doesn't hurt you. He can play the third pairing and help out. That's what I think. You offered him 3 years at 2.5 AAV. Third year, you might be trading him, but it's a tradable contract. And that's it. I think that's how you repair the team or fix the team going forward. You're adding offense. You're helping out the defense. You've got a backup goalie you can count on. And there you go. That's it. Sorry I'm rushing because this video is a lot longer than I thought. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. Give a thumbs up if you like the video. While you're down there, let me know what you think in the comment section. Rick, you're an idiot. How can you trade these guys? Let me know what you think about this. What you think would look like if this was done. How the team would look going forward. And any ideas you might have instead of these in the comment section. Plus, if you're new to the channel or you have not subscribed already, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That will get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. Now, I don't think anybody's still watching. It's a half an hour in, but thanks for watching, whoever's here and whoever's still seeing this, and whoever isn't still here. If you watched just a little bit, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next video. Peace out, y'all, and that's it. Bye-bye. Signing out, whatever you want to say.